What's up, everybody? It's Jason Cruz here once again with another episode of The Legal Submission. And before we start, as I do with every legal submission, I ask you to like, subscribe, go ahead and search me out on MMApayout.com, Twitter as MMA Payout. Go ahead and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. This time, we take a look at a lawsuit that was just filed in federal court in the U.S. District of Nevada this past Friday. It is Golden Boy Promotions filing a lawsuit against its own boxer, Ryan Garcia, for declaratory relief, requesting that the court indicate that its contract with Ryan Garcia is valid. And also intentional interference with contractual relations, and this relates to Garcia's advisor at this time, Guadalupe Valencia. So we all know who Ryan Garcia is. He fought Gervonta Davis in May, and he ended up getting his first loss of his professional career for the 24-year-old. Even though he lost in May to Gervonta Davis, he is a ascending star in the world of boxing. He is a good-looking guy. He has the background of Mexican roots. Even though he is from Southern California, in the similar mold of Oscar De La Hoya, and now we see De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions filing a lawsuit against Ryan Garcia. This relates to a contractual dispute that the two sides have. To back up just a little bit, Garcia has been under contract with Golden Boy since, I believe, 2017, and he did sign a extension, I believe, back in 2020, and here we are in 2023. Garcia is claiming that the contract now should be invalidated or voided. A week before the lawsuit was filed by Golden Boy, they had sent a demand letter requesting mediation to take place sometime in July. Mediation with Golden Boy Promotions to determine the validity of the contract, or the alternative, probably negotiating some sort of either extension or buyout of the contract. Now, according to the lawsuit, which was filed in Friday, as I said, Golden Boy is response to that demand letter to mediation was to file this lawsuit. So, in the contract, there was probably a clause that indicated that there is a right to cure on the part of either party. So the right to cure clause in any contract tried to prevent the lawsuit. Basically saying you have X amount of days to come correct with however you may have been in breach of the lawsuit. And instead of responding to the demand letter with an attempt to cure, Golden Boy has filed a lawsuit. So the reason why it did it, according to the lawsuit, is to protect its valuable promotion rights in the professional boxer Garcia. It goes on to say in one of the introductory paragraphs that Garcia's advisors have apparently convinced him that he does not need Golden Boy anymore. One of these advisors, Valencia, has for the last year or more directly interfered with Golden Boy's ability to communicate with Garcia and to negotiate the best deal and fights for Garcia. This is a trait of boxing management, boxing contracts. We've talked about lawsuits in the past in which managers cut off boxers from their promotional company, or promotional companies will cut off ties to their manager. And here we see the allegations of Golden Boy stating that Garcia's manager is preventing any fights from going forward. And the underlying thing that's happening here is that Garcia's manager, according to the complaint, Golden Boy alleges is uh, taking over the duties of what Golden Boy is and as the promotional company and seeking out fights directly on behalf of Garcia. So the specific thing going on here that Golden Boy alleges is that Valencia has inserted himself into the role of promoter on behalf of Garcia. Now they bring up the fact that during the Gervonta Davis negotiations for that fight that occurred in the past May, and by the way did really well as far as pay-per-view buys, Valencia inserted himself into the negotiations for the fight, uh, purporting to agree to terms that were unfavorable to Garcia and Golden Boy without ever consulting Golden Boy. So here we have a situation in which the advisor is trying to negotiate terms for the deal with Garcia on to broker this fight, when in actuality it is the promoter's job to broker the fight between Davis's camp and Garcia's camp on his behalf. So now we see the interplay between manager and promoter, and that is a problem. And you can see that in a lot of these boxing lawsuits in which the promoters and managers do not get along or cannot work together cohesively. And obviously, in this particular instance, Golden Boy believes that it's Valencia that is driving a wedge between itself and the boxer Garcia. So, what they want from the court is a judicial declaration that says that their current agreement with Garcia is valid and enforceable, governed by Nevada law, and Golden Boy has a sole and exclusive right to promote Garcia's professional boxing matches and to negotiate for and broadcast the same. Garcia and Valencia are not permitted to conduct any negotiations or engage in any contracts with any third parties, including regarding Garcia's fights. So that's the end of the legal lawsuit regarding Golden Boy and Ryan Garcia. Now, to add context to the dispute, ESPN reports what the demand letter indicated that was sent by Garcia's and Valencia to Golden Boy, and that relates to the fact that there were conflicting agreements with Garcia and DAZN. Again, if you recall, the pay-per-view was broadcast by Showtime as well as DAZN, so you could buy the pay-per-view either from Showtime or DAZN. And the issue the issue brought up by Garcia is that there were issues that related to the pay-per-view setup between DAZN and Garcia. In addition to the issues with Golden Boy and DAZN, those contract issues, Garcia claims that Golden Boy violated California's 7-year rule for personal service agreements. Now, I had told you that he signed in 2017, but actually the ESPN article says he signed in November 1, 2016, and then re-signed again in September of 2019. So he believes that the contract actually should be done by 2013, but in fact, the contract, according to Golden Boy, does not cease to end later this year. Also, Garcia claims that Golden Boy failed to satisfy all the act disclosures and asked Golden Boy to amend agreements with DAZN that say Garcia isn't exclusive to the streaming service. Garcia is looking to be reimbursed for fees he paid DAZN to allow the Davis fight to proceed. So again, we see side agreements related to DAZN having to appease the contractual agreements by Golden Boy to DAZN, and through that, Garcia is said to have received an extra fee, or should have received an extra fee for doing this. Now, what is to become of this lawsuit as we go forward? Well, obviously, Ryan Garcia has 30 days to respond, either through a motion to dismiss, is claiming the complaint lacks merit, or will answer the complaint, or maybe there'll be some settlement in between, which probably would be the best thing to happen. But obviously, this is boxing litigation, so it'll probably go forward with a motion to dismiss, as Garcia claims that these allegations are baseless. Now, Garcia probably will try to get out of this agreement, claiming that the personal services contract in California reached its limit later this fall, because he had signed a deal for 2016, November 1, 2016, and the 7-year agreement should end by November of this particular year. Golden Boy still has his arguments that Garcia's advisor was intervening in the contractual negotiations. Now, we might recall from the Manny Pacquiao paradigm lawsuit that many of Pacquiao's advisors were negotiating a fight for Pacquiao outside of Paradigm's jurisdiction, or without Paradigm actually knowing. So we do have a similar situation in this particular lawsuit, with Golden Boy claiming that Garcia's advisors were negotiating deals outside of the scope, outside of the authority of Golden Boy. So we are probably looking at exclusive issues with exclusive agreements pertaining to Golden Boy, as well as the alleged contract ending between Garcia and Golden Boy. Obviously, there's a lot to unpack here that will come out as we get further into this lawsuit. So we will be following it. Once again, this is Jason Cruz with the Legal Submission. Have a good one, guys.